we have a mic check? Are we good?
Check, 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 check.
And then, yeah, you're right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all to the CHI Health Center, Omaha, Nebraska, as BLK Prime pay-per-view enters the boxing world in a massive way. Right behind me, this banner, we have a giant arena that comes Saturday night will be filled to the rafters for the long-awaited return of the pound-for-pound king and hometown hero, Terence Bud Crawford, and facing him will be the upset-minded David Avanesyan. The WBO welterweight championship will be on the line. My name is Lupe Contreras, and joining me on stage we have the aforementioned main event tomorrow night, along with a absolutely packed undercard. Some of the top young talent in the sport facing off against their toughest opposition today. We will begin our press conference momentarily, but before we start, I'd like to introduce to you and welcome to the stage boxing legend, former world champion and BLK Prime ambassador, the one and only Super Zach Judah.
Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have an action-packed night. You see here, both sides are ready. They're ready, locked and loaded. Tickets are still available right now, so everybody can log in right now and get some more tickets if you need it. You can go to blkprime.com right now and log in and order the pay-per-view. And this is going to be an action night, packed fights, and I can't wait. I mean, I'm excited. I'm going to just sit back and watch this. Lupe, back to you, my guy.
Thank you very much, sir. As we mentioned, we do have our main event on the stage, but also joining us, we'll start from my right side over here, all the way in. Local hometown hero, also putting his undefeated record on the line, 17-0, 14 KOs, Steven Nelson will be opening up our telecast tomorrow night. Light heavyweight division will be facing off against the fighter out of Detroit, Michigan, James Ballard. Followed up by a heavyweight clash at 6 rounds or less, also undefeated. Hailing from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and now fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, we have Jeremiah Dreamland Milton. Facing off against the heavy hitter out of Ohio, DeJuan Calloway. Followed up, we have 2 world title contenders from Odessa, Ukraine, Arnold Kagai. And the rugged fighter out of Mexicali, Mexico, Eduardo Baez, set for 10 rounds of the super bantamweight division. And in our co-feature, MMA legend, Chris Cyborg enters the boxing world making her U.S. debut. And she will be welcomed into the boxing world by Gabrielle Holloway. And as we mentioned, the highly anticipated main event, 4 years in the making, his return to Omaha, Nebraska. It is the WBO welterweight championship on the line. It is BLK Prime pay-per-view here at the CHI Health Center. We have the undefeated pound-for-pound king, hometown hero, Terence Crawford. Across the ring, we have the upset-minded and very dangerous David Avanesyan.
Yes.
Let me start with you, Steven So-Cold Nelson.
Yes, sir.
Your career was chugging right along. You were fighting on some of the top shows in the country on national television. Then you suffered an injury, a pretty traumatic injury to your Achilles tendon. Walk us through that injury and the long road back and what we can expect from you this coming Saturday night.
I was training 2021 for a fight in March, and I was in the gym and I was training and this popped. I was like, wow, my career over that fast. But I did what I was supposed to. Did physical therapy, and I'm back. I've been training all year. I've been in multiple camps, getting ready for fights and everything. So, I'm here now, ready to put on a great show. From the walkout to the first punch to the last punch thrown. I'm ready.
Now you're known for your walkouts. Obviously, you fought on some of the big shows here in Omaha. None bigger than tomorrow night. What can we expect from the walkouts? Any little preview that you have for us?
Oh man, you gotta wait. We gotta wait. I'm always here to put on the show. Matter of fact, I got some notes right now. Big ones like this.
Wayne, make sure you scoot over for this.
Shout out to BLK Prime. Yeah, shout out to BLK Prime for giving us the opportunity. First off, praise to God and getting us here. Oh yeah, here we go. Talk trash to the opponent. Oh yeah. I hope you're ready, man. I feel bad for you. It's my first fight back. I'm amped. I'm motivated. I've been training hard for this. So I'm sorry you had to sign a contract for this, but be ready. Are you ready, bro?
Speaking of your opponent, James Fallon, you're a Detroit fighter. Obviously, Detroit has a tremendous history in boxing. Fighters like Joe Louis, Tommy Hitman Hearns, Emmanuel Stewart. Tell us about what it means to you to follow the footsteps of such great, notable names in the sport of boxing. And tell us a little bit about that Detroit style, that Detroit heart you can bring in the ring Saturday night.
How you doing, everybody? I'm gonna tell you like this. We don't come to play no games. At the end of the day, we in there to provide a service to our opponent. It's to sit them down, and that is it. Or knock them out, or I'm not trying to leave nothing up to the judges. I'm looking for them. But at the end of the day, to move swiftly throughout the boxing community back in Detroit, it's tough because, there's no reason to get in the ring with a Detroit fighter if you're not mentally ready to do the impossible. That means that you put the person down as fast as you can or come out with best combination that you can work on. It really doesn't sit well to a Detroit fighter that knows what he knows through old school training. Like when you brought up Tommy Hearns and Emmanuel Stewart, well, it's trainers before them. It's fighters before them that came up, at the end of the day, it's like this. It's trainers and it's fighters that y'all never hear about that actually push these great fighters to be what they should be. You don't get to hear about these guys. And I kind of fall up under one of these categories. Actually I should have been in the lights, up under the lights, up under the big shows like this. But the injury he had, the same injury I had. I told myself I can walk around. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't sit back and just it's over. No, I'm gonna keep on going until I can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? When my mind gone, I'm gone. That's how I see it. So I know he had a censor list, of what he wants to happen. But at the end of the day, y'all get to see me fight. Y'all get to see what I can do. Y'all get to see what I bring to the table. And the main thing I bring to the table is my favorite. Would you like to know what that is?
I am dying to know what your favorite fight.
The one that connects. The one that connects, I'm doing it all night. The one that connects. So, Mr. Nelson, I'm ready. You got one choice. You can go home right now and chill, or we can meet up tomorrow and throw them things and go get the burger tomorrow.
It's Saturday.
You got an ultimatum.
Look, I'll see you tomorrow.
Show up, make weight, and get in the ring. That's your ultimatum. That's it. That's all I got for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that bout opens up the action this Saturday night. BLK Crime pay-per-view here in Omaha, Nebraska. Following up our opening bout, we have our heavyweight clash set for 6 rounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, hailing from Tulsa, Oklahoma, we have Mr. Jeremiah Dreamland Milton. Now, Jeremiah, you said you've been training with some of the best fighters in the world in Las Vegas, putting in some really hard work. And you said that sometimes in boxing, one of the cruel aspects of the sport is that sometimes you just meet somebody who's better than you. How are you better than your opponent? In what ways, and how are you going to showcase that Saturday night?
Not too many people know me right now. I'm very young in my career at 7-0 right now, 6 knockouts. But, sometimes it's not about the record. It's about, who you walk with, who you step with. I'm around all the greats, training in Las Vegas. I've had opportunities to spar world champs, the guys in the division of the sport, the who's of right now. A great amateur record. you know, and just my mentality, my heart, you know what I'm saying, where I belong. You know, I'm the supporting role right now to the man right now, Terence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? I'm happy to play that part. You know, you look up my fights, I've always put on viral performances in such a short amount of time. So yeah, I just love being that supporting role, man, sharing another stage with, you know, pound for pound, the best boxer in the world right now. It's an amazing opportunity. So I'm showing what Oklahoma do from Black Wall Street, Dreamland Milton.
Sir.
The one, Callum, when you look at your record, you're 5-1. The one thing that stands out, all those victories, 5 KOs, power is what resonates when you look at your record. How are you going to utilize that power come Saturday night to take away Mr. Milton's O on his record?
It's not just power. I got skill too. And prove that Saturday night. So I'm just here to take care of business. It's a business trip. That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's part of our undercard this upcoming Saturday night. 6 rounds or less heavyweight division, Jeremiah Milton, the upset-minded DeJuan Calloway, making part of the debut of BLK Prime pay-per-view. We continue with the action. One of our featured bouts on the undercard, we have 2 world title contenders facing off in a 10-round bout in the super bantamweight division. Fighting out of Odessa, Ukraine, we have Arnold Kagai. Now, Arnold, you were on the brink of perhaps fighting for a world title, and you suffered a setback. What does a win for you do this upcoming Saturday night to put you back in world title contention?
Hello everybody. Sorry, my English not perfect. What I think about this Saturday?
Correct. How does this put you back on the world stage with a victory over Eduardo Baez?
This fight is very important for me. I did good camp, good sparring. I think it's a next step for a belt. I'm very happy for this fight. And don't miss this fight this Saturday. Thank you.
Eduardo, I was looking over my notes, and you had one of my favorite quotes of the week. You said when you were asked what do you expect from this war, your answer was, "I expect a gruesome war." Tuviste una de mis respuestas favoritas en las notas que veo. Te preguntaron, ¿qué esperas de esta pelea? Y tu respuesta fue, yo espero una guerra espantosa. Explica esa respuesta.
Bueno, pues caracterizan a los mexicanos porque damos unas guerras, un show arriba del ring, y esta pues no va a ser la excepción, ¿no? Estudiamos a mi rival, sé que tiene muchos recursos y con el favor de Dios vamos a ir con la mano en alto y muy contentos de que va a ser un show, un espectáculo, se va a hacer un espectáculo la pelea.
But basically, because as a Mexican fighter, that's what you showcase as a Mexican fighter. I've studied my opponent. I know he's very skilled. And with the favor of God come Saturday night, we're not only going to put on a great fight, we're going to put on a spectacle. And with the favor of God, that's what I hope to deliver to you guys this upcoming Saturday night. Our co-feature bout this upcoming Saturday on BLK Prime pay-per-view, we have the MMA legend herself, Chris Cyborg. Now, Chris, you've accomplished pretty much everything there is to do in mixed martial arts. Invicta FC champion, Bellator champion, Strikeforce champion, UFC champion. What prompted you to make the leap into the boxing professional ranks?
No, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for everyone here. You know, 18 years doing MMA, and now where I'm at, you know, doing boxing fight. For me, I was in my praise. I say, God, you know, and I live my life doing any sport you put me. And He sent me here. So, you know, I love to fight. I enjoy fight. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to fight Terence Crawford and all the fighters here. And I'm going to do my best. You know, I've been training, I've been learning. I want to teach thank you, Benavides team, for all the support. And, you know, I love fight. I'm born for this. And I'm going to give you a show for you guys Saturday.
Yes!
Hey!
Yes! Go,
Chris
Cyborg!
Saturday night, or most folks like to say, when I am successful after Saturday night, there are many dream matchups in boxing that could include your name. What are some of those dream matchups you look forward to down the line in professional boxing? What are some of the names that you want to get in the ring?
You know, first I like to see the person in front of me, and I'm doing great this Saturday, and you know it goes slowly, and the big fight is gonna come in, and I'm gonna be ready. I'm not gonna say the name, I just gonna do my best Saturday.
Gabriel, you have the pleasure of welcoming an MMA legend into the boxing world. Is there added pressure for you as a boxer? Do you feel like you're representing boxing when you're welcoming someone coming from a totally a similar discipline, but obviously a very different sport into the boxing world?
I don't think there's any added pressure just because Cyborg is a legend, but right now she's my opponent, so that goes out the window.
Now you have twice as many professional bouts as she does. How do you feel that experience will help you? And what have you seen in her stand-up game that you think you can utilize Saturday night?
I guess we'll have to wait and see Saturday night.
All right, we will wait and see. We're at the highly anticipated co-feature of the night. We have Chris Cyborg, Gabriel Holloway will be matching up here at the CHI Health Center, Omaha, Nebraska. And our highly anticipated return, our main event, as we mentioned, BLK Prime pay-per-view jumps into boxing in a massive way. On the line, the WBO welterweight championship. It is hometown hero, pound-for-pound king, Terence Crawford, facing off against the upset-minded and the very dangerous David Avanesyan. Now, David, let me start with you. You've been in this role before. You have been the guy that has been brought into the hometown heroes town, the undefeated fighters town, and you seem to thrive in that particular atmosphere. What is it about you? What is it about your game that you've been so successful in that role?
Hi, anybody. Hi, Omaha. Всем привет, кто смотрит, ребят, Instagram, парень. Listen, this is big fight, good fight. I have good camp. It's my job. Start today. I need to go ring and give everything to this fight. I need to win this fight.
In some of my notes, I noticed you said, everyone is talking about him. Everyone is talking about him. My name really isn't being mentioned. I don't think that they realize what a great fighter I am. I'm here not only to win this fight decisively, but I'm here to shock the world. Picture for me, what does it say Sunday morning when David Avanesyan shocks the world? What do the headlines say with your name on it? What will the newspapers read? David Avanesyan does what?
Что дальше? Yeah, new, wake up and new champion. And go home and happy, check belt, go home, see my family. A long time no see my family, 3 months. Really miss is, need to go home, still happy, everything good. Listen, many boxers, no boxer, is boxer good to understand. Many boxing fans, maybe only little drinkies in FCTV say this is no good fight. David Avanesyan, who understand boxing, he knows who this is good fight. He would say David before loss, listen, after loss, David show people that David changed now. And I know this is good fight. I'm happy for this fight. My God give me a big chance. And Saturday, I give everything for this fight. I do my best.
Terence, 4 years in the making, you're returning here to Omaha. Some of your biggest and most memorable moments have happened here inside of this arena. A few years back, you and I were talking, and I asked you, I said, is Omaha a boxing town, or are they a Terence Crawford town? And you said, it's a Terence Crawford town. Explain to me that relationship, and what is it between you and the city of Omaha that you've made such a connection with the fans here in Middle America?
Well, I think it all started when I was an amateur, being a top amateur, being #1 in the nation, and carrying Omaha on my back for so long, fighting here, in the Golden Glove Nationals, in the championship, in the finals. I think that's when Omaha really gravitated to Terence Crawford, and for me to stand on bringing the big fights back to Omaha, being that there haven't been nothing like this ever before. They give back just like I give to them.
Seeing how David had mentioned that your name is the only one that's being showcased out there, is there a lot of pressure on you? Obviously, hardcore fans know what David has done. They know his accomplishments. They know that he's gone into undefeated fighters' hometowns before and upset the party, as they say. How do you feel when they don't mention his name and they talk about Terence Crawford? Is it all the pressure on you to make sure that this goes as planned this upcoming Saturday night? And how do you do that?
look, like I've been saying in the interviews, I'm very focused. I've been focused since day one on just one man, and that's him. We know what he brings to the table, but we're going to elevate, you know, to a higher level. And this Saturday, you know, we're going to be victorious, and, you know, we're going to have a nice time doing it. We're going to have fun.
You guys have one opponent in common, which is Egidijus Kavalauskas. You say, in every training camp, I train like I'm fighting King Kong. What have you taken from his fight with Egidijus in your fight, and how do you incorporate it into Saturday night? What tactics will you be using?
I really can't, you know, look at too much of who he fought and how he fought him, because styles make fights, and, you know, we both had two different outcomes in the fight with Egidijus. So, you know, when me and him fight, we're going to make our adjustments on the fly, and, you know, we're going to do what we do best, and that's shine.
This upcoming Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, the return of the pound-for-pound king. WBO welterweight championship on the line as BLK Prime enters the boxing world in a massive way. It is the pay-per-view, Crawford versus Avanesyan. We will be facing off our fighters right now before we wrap up our press conference and separate for individual interviews. Our opening bout, please welcome to the center of the stage to face off. We have Steven So Cold Nailton. Give him the list. Opening up the pay-per-view. Give him the list. 8 rounds or less in the light heavyweight division.
They need to put their toes on that case.
The undefeated Steven the fighter who brings all that Detroit boxing heritage with him into the ring.
Why your name ain't on yours?
Looking to take that O from So Cold this upcoming Saturday night, opening up the BLK Prime pay-per-view here at CHI Center, Omaha, Nebraska. Fighters, if you can face the front for our cameras.
Back to wherever on 3 and go.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is our opening bout of the pay-per-view, an absolutely stacked undercard. So the top young fighters of the sport facing off against their toughest opposition to date this Saturday night.
That's why you can't send up for me. So you're going to get me in trouble.
Right here, guys.
Tell me that motherfucker.
All right.
Thank you, gentlemen. Our next bout to face off. A 6-round heavyweight action, also undefeated, fighting in Las Vegas by way of Oklahoma City, Jeremiah Dreamland Milton, against the skillful and power-punching fighter out of Ohio, DeJuan Calloway. Making up part of our stacked undercard. It is BLK Prime pay-per-view. Crawford Avanesyan. Live from here in Middle America, Omaha, Nebraska.
After your fight on you, plug me in at the shoe palace. I need plugged in at the shoe palace in Vegas.
Our next bout to face off, 2 title contenders looking to get back on the world stage. 10-round super bantamweight division out of Odessa, Ukraine, Arnold Kagai. Facing off against the rugged Mexican fighter from Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico,
Ukraine, baby, huh?
Eduardo Baez. It is Kagai Baez, 10 rounds or less, super bantamweight division.
Come back.
Thank you. We will do a group after, so you guys hang on tight.
Our show features hit for 4 rounds in the super welterweight division. She has conquered the MMA world, now looking to do the same. In her second professional bout in the world of boxing, please welcome MMA legend Chris Cyborg facing off against the upset-minded, rugged challenger Gabrielle Holloway. It is the BLK Prime pay-per-view co-feature. 4 rounds or less, super welterweight division, Cyborg versus Holloway.
Cyborg? Thank you.
And now our main event, 12 rounds of WBO welterweight championship. Facing off the man here to spoil the party, David Avanesyan.
And still! Time to go to work, baby!
Work time?
Time to go to work!
Crawford, Avanesyan.
Time to go to work!
Work time!
It's gonna be a long, long flight back home, baby.
Pound for pound!
Thank you.
Steam home, boy!
And still!
All right, guys. Everybody, group up.
All right.
Dab here in the middle. Yeah, get tight real quick. Tight as you can right here, guys. Right here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Sideboard. Look at these cyber.
Can you go sideways a little bit? There you go, so we can get everybody in.
So cold!
Oh, yeah.
Partner on the lip.
Yeah. We have a work time. What time is it?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we're expecting absolutely massive, raucous crowds this upcoming Saturday night. The return of the pound-for-pound king on BLK Prime pay-per-view. Terence "Bud" Crawford versus David Avanesyan. The WBO World Welterweight Championship on the line, as well as a stacked undercard. Some of the top young fighters in the sport facing off the toughest opposition today. We will see you Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Baby. Pound for pound. Pound for pound. Tell him, Bomac, and still. Which one was it going to jump to? This little short fucker right here, Fred Flintstone.